Hello everyone, welcome to the Rift. Today, I've partnered up with a personal friend of mine to talk about all of the new cards in Riftbound's newest set, Unleashed. There are a ton of really interesting cards in this set, some that seem potentially very strong, and others maybe not so much. We'll be covering each different color in a separate video for a total of 6, as well as a final video at the end talking about all of the new champion packages that are being introduced in this set, which means we'll talk about new legends, their signatures, and potential chosen champs, as well as how we think each deck will position itself in the metagame. Also, I apologize if the audio at times might seem a little bit scuffed. Technical difficulties. We'll be fixing it in the future. Alright, thanks for watching and enjoy the video. But first, if you're enjoying the content, then make sure that you like the video and feel free to smash that subscribe button. And if you'd like to support the channel even further, I have a link to my Patreon in the video description. Also, I have channel memberships now. They're just $1 and you get these nice badges next to your name whenever you comment or chat in live streams. Thank you to everybody who supports the channel, even just by watching videos. I really appreciate it. Alright, back to the video. Okay, let's start off with the red cards. I'm just gonna go through them in order, like set number order. I've got them in a file. I can just pull them up on screen.
Okay.
The first guy here is Arena Kingpin. This guy is not very good, I think. 5 might for 3, enters ready, tap give +3. It's okay. I think it's probably not gonna do anything outside of like stuff needing to be mighty or targeted.
Yeah, I don't think it's very good at all. I was gonna say there could be some world in an aggro list where maybe you run this and you're buffing your small dudes, but that's about all it.
Yeah, and even then, at 5 energy for an aggro list, I think I'd just play other stuff.
Yeah, no, 100%. You'd rather just play Accelerated Kaisa.
Yeah, Darius, anything.
100%.
Yeah, I stuck this guy down in pack filler. Okay, next card. Inferna, opposite of pack filler. For me, I think I like this card quite a bit. It seems good. 2 drops in general that have utility after the first turn, I think are pretty nice. This being a combat trick is decent. It's only for attacking. It's not an amazing combat trick, but I think Pike especially likes this card.
Yeah, no, I would agree. She's kind of like, the way I look at it, she's kind of like Cleave, but for 1 more mana, you get the body with the 2, so she sticks around if you were to leave her on board for whatever reason. Yeah, I think she's solid. I think she's above an average card. You know, maybe you run her in Pike, maybe you run her in some other aggro, or not even really aggro, but just some red lists.
Yeah, I think she's decent. I value Cleave generally higher because you can put it on a unit that you want to like protect, like a bigger body, something important like Darius or Kaisa. This doesn't really make those bigger, so those can still die in combat.
100%. The only benefit I see to this over Cleave is it can't be defied.
Yeah. I think it's around solid or good, more around there. Next is Mischievous Mirai. I think it's kind of the same deal. Some decks are really gonna like this, some decks probably not gonna play this. It's a 2-drop, so it having an effect that's useful later in the game is pretty valuable to me as well. I think it's about equal to Inferna.
Yeah, no, I would agree with you there. It's more or less the same of Inferna. Like, it's cool you can shoot something for 2, so maybe if you were to hide an early unit early in the game, then you could ping something, but maybe late game it kind of loses its value.
Yeah, it seems okay. It's like 4 might in total worth of swing, 2 damage, and 2 for this, so as a hidden, that's not bad. That's about as good as most hidden units are gonna get.
Yeah, I guess you could kind of compare it to, I think it's Blue Teemo, where it gains the +3 from hidden.
That's the purple one. The blue one's the
purple
flip thing.
Yep, thank you. Purple Teemo.
Yeah. Next guy, a 3-drop. This is Prepared Neophyte. It's 1 might if you've spent 4 or more to play a spell. I have +4. I don't like this card.
I think this card is Garbo.
Yeah, this is buns. Even in Jin, you have better stuff.
In Jin, you're just gonna play his free, champion unit.
Yeah. Revna, 7 and a power for 7 bite. Yanking. And if you play a spell, if you spent 4 or more, ready me.
Yeah, no, that's about my reaction as well.
Yeah, I mean, you kind of have to use this on the turn you play it, which is very hard. Otherwise, it's just sitting there. and it's pretty slow.
Yeah, no, I was gonna say you just play Darius instead of this and swing for the same amount.
Yeah, probably. It's
Like
got
sure,
ganking,
sure,
though.
sure it has ganking, but you know, I don't know. You have to play, if you want this to be ready the turn you play it, you got to play 11 runes, and that seems pretty tough in red especially.
Yeah. Maybe it has a little bit of potential, but I think it's probably not very good.
Yeah, I would agree.
Next is Sharkling. This guy is 3 energy, 1 might, again. Accelerate, assault 4. I also think this is just buns.
Yeah, I don't think this card's good at all, especially with these 1 might units that are in the game. If Bellows Breath's gonna be sticking around, it's gonna feel real bad.
Yeah, I think this is just very meh. Very meh.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, you can pick it up with Pike, but I don't really want to.
Yeah, you're paying 4 and a power for a 5. Again, I think I'd rather just play Kaisa.
Yeah. Next is Smite, the 2 and a power action, deal 3 at a battlefield, and banish it if it would die, which is, it could have some applications, especially against what's-her-face, LeBlanc.
Yep.
Kills yellow LeBlanc, don't get the death knell effect. That's about it, really. I think it's okay. Maybe Kaisa can tech this against LeBlanc if that's overbearing in the format, but that's about it.
Yeah, I think the only time you ever use this card is specifically against the Death Knell decks, or for whatever reason you're trying to snipe a unit out of purple so they can't keep recycling it, but I think that's the only use I see.
Yeah, stop death knell, stop stuff from recurring.
Yeah.
Like Phoenix, I guess.
True, yeah, you could snipe the Phoenix.
Yeah, I think it could have potential uses, but it most likely won't, I think.
Yeah, sideboard tech.
Yeah, next is this an elephant? He's got like Cthulhu tentacle mouth. I don't know what this thing is.
Which one is it?
Towering Pyrophant, the 6 energy, 6 might. It's got assault, and if a unit dies this turn, it enters ready.
Oh, yeah, this guy.
It's like okay. I don't think it's that great. It's like it comes down for Darius stats accelerated, which isn't bad, but it doesn't have the utility that Darius does of being able to be extremely annoying to deal with if it survives.
Yeah, 100%, and you're paying 1 more for it, so it's a common, so I believe it is common bulk.
I think it does have a little bit of potential if there's like a red deck in the future that has stuff die super easily for like free basically, but that's about it.
I mean, maybe there's a world too where you're playing like red-blue and like your temporary units are dying.
Yeah. I think there is a slight potential there, but I don't think this guy's gonna work out.
No, 100%.
The next card is very interesting. I really don't know what to think about this one. This is Upstage Comedy. It's the 2 energy with repeat, ready a unit.
So when I was playing against our buddy who was playing Jin, this card did come up. I don't think it's a card you're ever going to run more than 1 of. I think it's kind of like Bushwhack, because you can repeat this ready 2 units, which you know is decent, but you are hitting the magic number 4 for Jin. I think you might really only run this in Jin because you have Bushwhack as an option for other red colors or other red decks. But yeah, it's kind of a niche card. It's like, helps you go for game or clear a battlefield if you absolutely need to.
Yeah, I can see it as maybe a 1-of tech in some decks. Next
Yeah,
one.
it's a good card.
Yeah, next one is Vault Breaker. 2 and a power action, give assault to and ganking. It's basically just worse cleave.
Yeah, it's a way to give Vi Ride the Wind since she lost it.
Yeah.
That's basically it. It's a cool card.
Yeah, probably play this in Vi, but that's about it.
Yeah, 100%.
Next is the Beans. Can you do the
yes.
Beans voice?
The Beans, there's a Beans voice?
Yeah.
I'm not familiar with the Beans voice.
The Beans.
Oh, the guy who's like cooking in the pot?
Yeah.
I don't think I can. My voice ain't that deep.
Well, I think this card is, the beans are buns, I think. Except maybe in like something in the future, I guess. If there's like a control deck or a more like card advantage focused attrition deck in the future that wants to play a bunch of jump scare units like Rengar, Deadbloom, maybe this could be useful, but I don't know if Rengar right now really wants to play this card. He wasn't really struggling with card draw much at all when I was playing him, the way I built him, but perhaps if you're playing a build with like a ton of cheaper cards, like tons of 2-drops, tons of, I guess, cleave and stuff, maybe you want this, but I don't know, I didn't find it useful in Rengar.
Oh, that's what I was gonna say. I can see this maybe being played as a 1 or 2 of in Rengar, but from when we were playing games, it seemed like you were kind of getting card draw anyways from Nidalee, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, Nidalee and Kaisa are pretty good.
Yeah.
And just not playing 2-drops in the deck, except maybe a couple, does help.
So if you saw this early, maybe you can get a few draws off this, which might be nice, but like you said, it might not be even necessary. It's taking up a deck slot and deck space is already so tight.
Yeah. Lord Broadmane. This was a very strong card in Runeterra, and now he's okay, I think. 5 power for 5 might ambush. Gives other things assault, not himself, which is a bit disappointing. I think he's okay.
Yeah, no, I would agree with you here. If he just gave generically assault to just your units, I think this card would be a little bit better. You could kind of hide him in base, but
yeah,
and ambushing for 5 is kind of expensive. You don't really hold up that many runes in red unless you're playing Kaisa.
Yeah, it's an on-play effect, so it's only the turn you play him. Yeah, like you said, you can't put in base and swing with a bunch of little guys. Doesn't work.
Right. Yeah, he's a little niche, unfortunately.
Lotus Trap. This card is interesting, I think. It's the 2 energy, hidden reaction, double damage to a unit this turn.
It is an interesting card for sure. I thought about this card like when it first got revealed, and I'm thinking, in what situations would you run this? Like, sure, if you hide it and let's say you have a 3 might unit and they come in for 6, then you flip this and now they're taking 6. That's kind of cool. For spell damage though, like, yeah, I don't know, it's an interesting card. Like, I don't think it's bad.
Yeah, I don't either,
but it's hard to say if it's going to be a stapler or not. Like, it's going to be good, I think, against tall decks that are playing big units.
Yeah, it is a cheap way for Kaisa to deal more damage. You can ping something for 12 with Singularity, which is interesting. Yeah, I think this is going to be a more meta-dependent card.
Yeah, or it even turns your Falling Star into a Singularity, which is kind of cool.
Yeah, only against 1 unit, but
right, yeah,
still an interesting effect to have in the game, I would say, and at a cheap cost as well. Hidden reaction are really good keywords for this effect.
Yeah, I think this is an above average card.
Yeah, I think, I put it around middle, maybe niche area, so I'll stick it here. Monster Harpoon. 1 power action, deal 2 at a battlefield. If you control a face down card, deal 4 instead.
So this is, I'm trying to remember the other Harpoon card that like Volibear ran at one point. The Ballista?
Oh, the Ballista thing, yeah.
But if I remember correctly, Ballista wasn't an action. Let me look.
I don't think so.
It is not. So this is basically, this is Ballista, but with a little extra. You get an action and it can potentially deal 4.
Yeah, I think you have to have face down cards, enough of them, at least a decent amount in deck for this to be good. I think in Kaisa it could see some play, but you need to add some hidden cards into that deck, which I don't think they're really running any.
Yeah, and just side note, I just realized Ballista was a gear. This is not. This is a spell.
Yeah, it's one-time use.
Yeah, so that also kind of makes it not as good. If it was a gear, this would be really cool.
Yeah, I think 1 power, deal 2 is still pretty good. It's going to be about the same as Hextech Raid, at least early game, because most 2-drops are either 2 or 1. So
yeah,
the play pattern of go second with Kaisa, play a 2-drop, hold up 1, kill their 2-drop if it tries to move in, is still on the table with this card.
Yeah, but even like Hextech Ray hasn't seen any play in set 2, so is the potential of hiding a card to deal 1 more damage better than Hextech Ray? Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I think this card is around here. Either okay or niche. I think it's probably gonna be, I don't know, somewhere around here. I'll stick it here for now because I don't really think Kaisa is gonna want to play hiddens. They aren't.
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, they aren't last format. Except you have Lotus Trap, I guess. But that's
true.
Not...
You do have Lotus Trap, and like set 1, sometimes they were hiding Consult the Past, but that was rare.
Yeah, I pretty much only saw like 1 person really try to do that. The Darius maxing deck.
Yeah.
Next card. Spell. 3 power. Draw 1. Then draw 1 for each battlefield you or allies control. It seems... I mean, Kaisa is probably really the only deck you're gonna play this in. 3 energy, draw 3 is definitely not bad.
No, assuming you have both battlefields. That is strong.
Yeah, obviously, if you're behind and you don't have any battlefields, this card's basically useless.
Is there a world where, because Kaisa already doesn't really struggle with card draw, is there a world like maybe in Lucian or the other maybe like red-orange decks that struggle with that they'd run this?
The thing with Lucian that I've seen a lot is because there's not really that many units in the deck, you're probably only going to be on one battlefield at a time. I think it's pretty difficult to get on both with that deck unless you're like really winning the game.
Yeah, because at least with Lucian, you go in, you conquer, he readies, then you can do Rite of Conquest, get your draws, then go back to base. That seems decent.
Yeah, but you only draw 2.
Yeah.
Unit power draw 2 is not worth it.
For sure. Yeah, that was the only world where I really saw this card being ran, is in the decks that are already struggling with it.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's an okay card draw option. I think you really do have to play it in a deck where you're going to be proccing this for drawing 3 consistently enough, because otherwise I don't think it's going to be viable. But yeah, at least in Kaisa, I'm thinking if this card was in set 1, it might have seen some play, maybe, because Kaisa, at least most of the time, is like, it's not really that hard to double conquer.
Yeah.
You have Accelerate Kaisa, you have a bunch of little dork guys that you just want to throw in and die, so.
Yeah, I think in set 1 this would have been better than Consult, for sure, because even if you're getting the draw 2, Consult you're paying 4, so.
Yeah, or power. You don't have to pay power in Kaisa with this because it's spell.
Yeah, I think it's I'd say it's a middle of the pack card, maybe slightly below.
Yeah, that's where I put it. Right, next is Scorch Claw. It's a dog. It's 3 and a power for 3 might. Hunt 2 and level 3 +1 and enters ready. What deck does this go in?
I think, let's see, we have Mastery who's green-orange, we have Poppy who's yellow-orange, and we have Kha'Zix who's purple-orange. So far, all of the hunt decks, or all the XP decks have been orange. I don't think we have a red payoff for XP, not that I can think of.
Yeah, I don't think so.
So I guess this is just maybe future set card.
Yeah, let me check the legends real quick. No, we do not. We do not have a red payoff.
XP card.
Yeah,
so
it's kind of useless.
Yeah, you are not running this card.
Yeah, there's no deck that wants this right now.
Nope.
Even in future, I think you're probably gonna not play this still. It's just not great, even if it were like yellow or orange.
Yeah, because even if you get your 3 XP by turn 2 or 3, sure, this guy enters ready, but you have better options for that, I believe.
Yeah, orange has a lot of ambush. Italy is 3 and a power as well, and that card's just better.
Yeah, 100%.
Next is Square Up. Red spell for 4. Repeat by discarding a card. Give a unit Assault 4. This card is pretty bad. It does not have action or reaction, and it's 4 for Assault 4, which is just really bad.
Yep, this is way worse. Primal Strength, because that also costs a 4, I believe.
Yeah, and you can use that on defense.
Yep, and it's going to feel real bad when you repeat this and discard a card and your opponent defies you.
Yep, yeah. 4 for 4 is just way worse than 1 for 3 with Cleave.
100%.
Yeah, and there are better discard outlets in most colors, especially red.
Yeah.
Next is Yeti Brawler. 6 for 6. When I conquer, if you assign 3 or more excess damage, play 2 gold. This is a draft card.
Yeah, I guess this is later down the line, but right now the whole like assign 3 or more excess damage mechanic I think is not great. There are too many variables that can change that.
Yeah, I mean, even if this guy was just when I conquer, or even probably on play 2 gold, I don't think it would see play.
No, that's totally fair. Yeah, it's too fair of a card.
Yeah, yep. Okay, next is Blighted Battle Axe. This one's interesting, I think. It's a 4 energy equipment that gives +4. Equip for 1 and a power. At the end of your turn, if you didn't conquer this turn, unattach this and deal 4 to the unit it was attached to, basically.
Yeah, bringing it back up again, I think maybe you could slide this into Lucian because he does have the easy conquers and goes back to base, but other red decks don't really have the leisure of being able to just steal a point and leave.
Yeah, I'm not sure if you really want to play this in Lucian. I don't know. I don't really play that deck that much. Only like one person plays it at locals, so I don't have much experience with it. But your main guy is 3, so this kills him. And your equipment in Lucian give assault, which doesn't help your units live from this damage. So you're gonna need it paired with something else if you ever want a unit to live. Otherwise, this can just be pushed, I guess, against purple. It's not hard to conquer with Lucian, but I think there's still probably just better equipment that you can play than this. You're playing this to equip it at 5 energy into power, so that's pretty expensive.
That is expensive. And again, I brought it up a few times, but for 5 into power, you might just want to play Kaiser Darius.
Yeah. I think this card may have usage, but I'm not sure it's around here.
Yeah, this is a keep an eye on, maybe future set card, maybe when red wants their stuff to die.
Yeah, you want to have damage done to you specifically.
Yeah, kind of like an enraged mechanic from Hearthstone.
Yeah. Speaking of that mechanic, we've got Dancing Grenade, which I think really the only use for this card is self-damage. Otherwise, this card's pretty bad. It's the 2 and a power spell. Deal 2/2 unit. It's controller, so the controller of the unit that was just dealt damage may play this spell for a power. And then it just basically keeps ping-ponging the damaging units until you or your opponent decide to stop dealing damage to stuff.
Yeah, you gotta play a hot potato with your opponent.
Yeah. So like you can ping your own guy for 2 if we ever get good self-damage effects, and then kill something for 3. But that's basically it, because if you just play this trying to kill your opponent's stuff, you can kill a 2 might unit and then they just get to kill one of your units that's 3 might. So
yeah, no, just like you said for the last card, right now I think this is a wait and see card. We need some self-damaging benefits.
Yeah, definitely Vladimir, something like that.
That'd be sweet.
Okay, Grim Apothecary. This is the 3 for 3 unit with ambush. When you play me, you may return a friendly unit at a battlefield to its owner's hand. This card seems decent. I think I like it.
I think I like it too.
Yeah, you can kind of pick stuff back up with it. Get the purple discard guy, play him again. His stats are decent. Even if you just play him as a 3 might combat trick, that's not bad.
Yeah, I think this potentially has some play in red purple where you want to replay your unit, stuff like Fizz, Tide Turner, the new butterfly moth thing that discards a card. I forget its name.
Yeah, you can even just like have a Tide Turner on board, play this, not even in combat, pick it up, do something with it, pick up a Fizz, replay it. You don't even have to use it in combat if you don't want to.
Yeah, this is a cool card to enable some cool lines of play, some combos.
Yeah, I think it's definitely an interesting card. I keep an eye on it going forward in the game.
100%.
Next is Mr. Jin, the red one. He's got deflect and ganking. When he moves, add an energy and a power, and he costs 4 and a power for 4 might. This card I think has some insane potential, but I don't know if he's really going to be that strong right away, because Jin as a deck is just looking decent, nothing crazy.
No, 100%. Right now, the way we have Jin, or at least the current Jin card pool, you kind of want to play him like a Kaisa deck. You want to be spell slinging and killing stuff. I could see you maybe running this in like a red purple deck where you can abuse the movement. Like if you ride the wind this and move it 3 times and you get 3 floating, that's kind of cool.
Yeah, I think there is some crazy feature potential for this card, but I don't know if his full potential is gonna play out in this set, but he's definitely a good card, I would say.
No, I would say so too.
Yeah. Next is potentially a future deck, Katarina, 5 and a power for 5 might. This card is really cool. I don't know whether this card is going to be good or very good yet. I think like if her deck is built around these effects, I think this is going to be a very strong card. But yeah, she says when you hide a card, ready me, which is definitely an interesting effect. And when you play a card from face down, deal 2 to an enemy unit, which is also a very interesting effect.
Oh, 100%. I think the coolest effect is I mean, honestly, both effects are super cool. But the card we went over earlier, I already forgot its name. Where from hidden, or if you play it, it can ping something for 2. You could pair this with that, ping something for 4, which is kind of cool.
Yeah, Mischievous Mirai.
Yeah, that one. Thank you. Yeah, no, I think this card is, like you said, it is a super cool card. I'm sure that someone can find some cool combos they can do with this, especially in red purple, where you're going to be hiding lots of cards.
Yeah, definitely. I think Katarina is going to be a very interesting deck if it's revolving around these effects.
Yeah, you could switcheroo something down to 2 might and then shoot it for 2.
Yeah, definitely a cool
Lots
card.
of cool stuff.
Rengar, the new red one, second red one. Born of Power for 4 might and keyword soup. Accelerate Assault to deflect ganking. This card is pretty buns. Despite how many words are on his card, I don't think he's that good. I would rather just play other stuff.
Yeah, there's a part of me that thinks this card will see maybe some play in which deck, I don't know. Purely because Accelerate is always good. You are paying 2 power though, which feels bad if you were to accelerate it. Deflect is always nice. Ganking is always nice. Like, it is word soup. It does have almost every keyword in the game, but that's why part of me thinks like maybe you could do something cool with this or just kind of be annoying.
I think as far as keywords like this go, that don't really synergize with each other that much. I mean, they're all nice to have, but like deflect is just kind of on its own here. It doesn't really synergize with the other keywords like accelerate and assault do. Those work together. So I think like, yeah, there's probably going to be just diminishing returns with how many keywords you add onto a card. And I don't think the power cost on this is really helping it at all. I think it's a bit overcosted for what it gives you.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of any scenario right now. Like, you'd have to have some way to ready it, and then maybe you can cheese 2 points in a turn. But yeah, I don't know. I guess it kind of makes it not as bad on defense because it has the deflect, but then you don't really want to be defending anyways with this card. Yeah, it's an awkward card for sure.
Yeah, I don't really like it that much. Yeah, maybe it has some future potential with specifically the ganking, but you've got Vi, which is just a better ganker. Accelerate and ganking is interesting on a card, but yeah, I think just by itself, it's not really going to do anything. And you really need something to combo with this guy to really make him do anything.
No, I would agree. He needs other cards to make him even more beneficial.
Yeah, next one we've got is definitely an interesting one. Undying Legion. It's a 3 for 3, and it's got Legion. You can play me from your trash for 3 to power, which is interesting because it's infinite units, provided it doesn't get banished. Infinite units on a card is always an interesting effect to have because it's very useful against control. Every time they spend a spell to remove this, you can just bring it back, so you're never losing card advantage.
Yep. Yeah, I like this card a lot. I think it's I don't think it's busted, but I think there is a deck where you run 3 of this card and you are just annoying as hell. Like, you're going against Kaisa or Ezreal or any of the other Spellslinger decks, even maybe Victor, and just every single turn you play a little stinker, and then this guy comes back out for 3, and you never run out of cards.
Yeah, against control, I think this is very strong, but everything else it's probably going to be useless against. So,
but yeah, I think it's a cool card for sure. I like it a lot.
Yeah, depending on the format, I'd say main deckable. There's a lot of control. Other than that, probably just side deck.
Yeah, I would agree.
Okay, Xerath. Potentially also another feature playable deck. This is a 5 for 5, which is nice stats. Power cost, tap it, deal 3/2 unit. You can only do that while he's at a battlefield. So it's kind of big Caitlyn, but
yeah, I was about to pull up Caitlyn right now to get her exact text. Does she also, can you shoot anywhere?
No, I think you can shoot the other battlefield.
Yeah, so she also only shoots a battlefield. So it's slightly bigger, slightly better Caitlyn.
Yeah, the Caitlyn scales with her own stats, whereas this doesn't. But this can strike base, so yeah. I don't think this is playable right now, but in Xerath, the actual deck, if we get that and it's good in that, then it could be playable. But right now, not really.
Yeah, I would agree. I don't think, it's hard to say obviously because we're going off of Spirit Forge format, but even right now, I don't think anyone would play this card.
No, it's too slow.
Yep.
I mean, I guess you can untap it immediately and ping something for 3, but it still doesn't seem that great.
Yeah, like, it's cool. You could like snipe the enemy chosen champion, like, you know, snipe an Ezreal, But yeah, you have to play it, tap it, so you gotta wait a turn. Yeah, too slow.
Yeah, too slow. Speaking of slow, is this Inviolus, or I guess that's how it's pronounced? I don't know. Never seen this word before. Inviolus Vox. 8 and 2 power for an 8 bite. When I conquer, give a friendly unit +8. This is turbo garbage. Don't play this card.
Yeah, this is infinitely worse White Flame Protector.
Yeah, in every way. Extremely slow, extremely expensive. Yeah, pretty bad.
Like even if you're trying to be cute and ride the wind this and double conquer for 8 and give something 16, it's like, well, you already double conquered, so why are you doing this?
Yeah, 8 in the power is just way too expensive.
Yeah, it's no bueno.
Next is Pike, 3 energy for 2 might, hidden and ganking, and you can pay a power as an additional cost to play him. If you do, he comes in ready and he gets +2. So 3 in a power for 4 might accelerated. It's not bad. To me, this is not the chosen champ you want to play in Pike. I think the other one's better. 3 for 3 is a better development piece, and he makes gold, which is good setup for the early game into the late game. Although this guy, he does have an interesting point about him, which is going second. If your opponent plays sneaky with Obelisk, sneaky deckhand, you can just swing over it. Guaranteed from chosen, which is definitely interesting. But other than that, I think this guy's not going to be chosen, and maybe you play him. I think 3 in a power for 4 might is definitely not bad, but I think there's better accelerate units you can play, like Kaisa.
No, I would agree. Like, it is cool that you're kind of getting a cheaper accelerate cost. Wait, let me...
Yeah, he's just a power as an accelerate. He comes out overstated for his price if you accelerate, but he comes out understated if you don't.
Yep, so you kind of are obligated to pay the additional costs, and I was reading this card earlier, and I don't ever see a world where you're hiding this.
Yeah, I mean, it is a hidden to just try and hold something. You can flip him and then pay the additional cost to be 4 might, but that's a pretty expensive hidden. It's an option, which does make the card a little more versatile. The ganking on him, I think, is not really going to come up. At 2 might, this guy's not surviving into your next turn, so he's not untapping and ganking.
Yeah, I guess, like, if you were to play him from hidden and he does somehow live to the next turn, you can just straight up gank to the other battlefield. But yeah, he's all right.
Yeah, he's all right. I'll put him here. I think he's around this area. I'll put him here for now. He's definitely not a bad card. I think
I threw him in B tier.
Yeah, there's some matchups where he's going to really shine and some where he's not going to feel very good. Red Brambleback, red buff. 4 in a power for 4 might. It's got accelerate. Your conquer effects for conquering here trigger an additional time, which is an interesting effect. And when he conquers, he buffs a friendly unit, which probably doesn't really matter. It's the double conquer triggers effect that you're going to be playing him for.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I saw like a little video snippet, and there's like a cool OTK you can do with this guy if you got like Skyfall, Trinity Force, and some other shenanigans, and
yeah,
it's cool.
You draw Exodia, you win, sure, but
yeah, exactly. Yeah, I think you're only running this guy if you're trying to go for some cool OTK combo.
Yeah, basically. I mean, if there's enough conquer effects in the game eventually, I think the ones we have right now are just kind of okay. Like, you can ship him in with Kaisa and draw 2, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, he seems very specific. You kind of want to build a deck around him. Don't really know if there's enough cards to do that yet. Lucian is basically the only deck that wants this guy, and even then, I'm not sure, because he's 4 in a power. If you accelerate, that's 5 and 2 for just 4 might, but you don't really have any problems conquering with Lucian because of his effect, so...
Yeah, he's a bit expensive.
Yeah, the mediocre stats for his costs don't really matter that much, but they're still mediocre.
Yeah.
Next, we've got Vi, the other red Vi, 4 for 3 might, deflect, and pay 2 in a power, double my might this turn, which you can do as many times as you want to. So this can become extremely big. It can also just get bounced or pushed. So
yep. Let's see. So you can, if you pay 4 for this, let's assume you're at 12 runes. You pay 4 for this, you have 8, so you can double this 4 times. So you can go to 6, 12, 24, 48 might.
Yeah, you're also gonna have to find a way to accelerate it because this doesn't do that.
No, I know. I was just wondering how big it could get. Well, I guess you can always buff it too with other stuff if you have punch first, and that also goes into the doubling. It's a cool card. I like that it exists just because it's kind of funny.
Yeah, I think it fulfills basically the same role that the other Vi does, but probably worse because it's so expensive.
Yep, and it doesn't have ganking.
Yeah, this is probably just gonna be played in Vi, maybe as the chosen, maybe, and that's about it.
Yeah, and even then, like, you still might run the OG Vi depending on how many cards you can get in trash.
Yeah, and the yellow one doesn't look too bad either.
Yeah.
Okay, so all the red cards are done here.
Cool.
Yeah, I think overall, red in this set got some pretty good cards, some pretty good units, mainly good units, not really that many spells that are all too powerful. Some very interesting effects, though, that the color did not have access to before. That will definitely be interesting to build around incoming sets.
Yeah, no, I'm glad they're getting cooler and more different cards, because red has kind of just been the most efficient when it comes to spell removal, except maybe for yellow. Yeah, I'm liking the cool takes they're taking on different cards, the self-damaging stuff, and the new ambush mechanic is cool.
Yeah, I like it. I think it's going to be interesting to build around stuff in the future. The units are pretty good. Overall, I think I like what they did with red in this set. There's a lot of interesting stuff, a lot of new stuff, not really anything that is too strong at first glance, which I'm happy about.
Yeah, no card has seemed overly tuned in red.
Yeah,